Icy conditions are certainly possible this morning, so keep an eye out for that. Megan, back to you.
Kim, thanks. 6:31 right now. Another disturbing story to tell you about this morning involving another report of animal abuse in Baltimore City. This time the abused animal is a cat who was given the name Mittens, as well as her kittens. ABC 2 News' Cherie Johnson joins us live with more. Cherie.
Good morning, Megan. Baltimore City has had its share of disturbing animal abuse cases, and now there's another one, a young cat intentionally set on fire. We want to warn you, some of this video may be hard to watch. Now, the Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter is taking care of Mittens, who is dealing with burns on most of her body. The cat and her newborn kittens were first brought into the Bark shelter about 3 weeks ago, but the shelter just learned that the cat was set on fire on purpose. Someone put the cat in a milk crate on the back porch, doused her with lighter fluid, and a match was thrown on her. Now, she ran down an alley and was able to extinguish herself. When the cat came back for her kittens, someone saw her and immediately called police. This is now a criminal case.
The best thing that we can do is educate the public about situations like this, and hope that people listen, and hope that people get together and make a stand that animal cruelty is criminal. It's a very insensitive, very horrible thing, and until we're a community and we all get together and decide that it's wrong, then people need to pay attention to that.
Now, Mitten is expected to be okay, but will need long-term care. This story is taking off on the website and on WMAR Facebook fan page, and here's what some of you are saying about it. Courtney says, I am horrified to read this. I surely hope this adorable thing gets adopted as soon as she can. Now, some awful person has ruined my entire day. I just hope she'll be fine, a safe home, and a happy home. Colin says, that's just wrong. Poor kitty. Rosemary Ann says, I agree with the majority. Set the little punk on fire and make sure the last thing they see is a picture of Mittens and her babies. Is Mitten going to be okay? And Sherry says, that's horrible. I hope the juvenile gets help and fast, if it's not too late for them. Only a matter of time before they recklessly hurt humans too. So that's what a few of you had to say. And if you would like to help Mittens, you can help by donating to Bark's Frankie Fund. Cherie Johnson, ABC 2 News.
Time now 6:34. Controversy pits a wildly popular fast food chain against the gay community.
It's a disturbing story that we hear far too often, a horrifying case of animal cruelty, a cat treated for horrible burns, and 2 people in custody. We want to warn you, the video is disturbing. Now, Mittens has 3rd and 4th degree burns on her ears and neck and lower body. Police say that she was intentionally set on fire in the 3300 block of St. Ambrose Avenue. Witnesses say a juvenile drenched the cat with lighter fluid, put her in a milk crate, then lit a match.
The cat was able to escape and basically extinguish itself, but because it had a little litter of kittens, it actually came back to the home that sort of abused it. And I think the police were then called, and then the cat was brought to Barks.
Mittens will remain at Barks for another month in the hopes that she and her litter will be adopted. Meanwhile, testimony continues in the trial of twin brothers accused of setting fire to a pit bull. Travers and Tremaine Johnson are charged with numerous counts of animal cruelty stemming from the 2009 incident. Despite efforts to save her, the pit bull, known as Phoenix, had to be put down. If convicted, the brothers could each get up to 3 years in prison.
Washington, I'm Kate Amara, WBAL TV 11 News.
All right, thanks, Kate. Another shocking case of animal cruelty leaves a mother cat in the care of veterinarians and 2 people in police custody in connection with that crime. 11 News reporter George Lettis is live at Barks in South Baltimore with that story. Good morning, George.
Lisa, good morning. We're told that the cat is doing better here at Barks, but first a warning for you. The video you're about to see may be disturbing.
The baby's sleeping like she is.
This is Mittens. She has 3rd and 4th degree burns on her ears, neck, and lower body. Barks says Mittens was intentionally set on fire earlier this month in the 3300 block of St. Ambrose Avenue. Witnesses say a juvenile drenched the cat with lighter fluid, put her in a milk crate, then lit a match.
The cat was able to escape and basically extinguish itself, but because it had a little litter of kittens, it actually came back to the home that sort of abused it. And I think the police were then called, and then the cat was brought to Barks.
As Mittens continues to undergo treatment at Barks, pet owners like Clinton Young are enraged by the cruel act that sent her there.
I just can't see how kids do that, but they do it. I really don't understand why they do something like that. And the cat or dog is a lovable animal.
I think that they should be locked up, or they should have to pay the price for doing that, just like if they hurt another person.
Some of Mittens' skin and hair have already started to grow back, but she'll remain at Barks for a little while longer.
She'll continue to get better, so I would say probably in the month of March, maybe. Maybe if there's someone interested in maybe fostering her in her litter, I mean, that's a possibility as well, but she eventually will be put up for adoption.
Now, later today, we expect to get more information from police on this investigation. We're live in South Baltimore. George Lattis, WBAL TV 11 News.
All right, George, thank you. Well, fire officials say it may take days.
Phoenix, the dog, back in 2009, followed by the burning of a cat named Mittens and several cases in between.
Almost 200 cases of animal abuse and neglect are reported each year in our city. But it is how Baltimore is fighting those troubling numbers that has won 2 residents a national honor.
ABC 2 News' Brian Kubler explains, but before he does, we want to warn you that some of the images in this story are a little graphic.
Mittens is admittedly playing to the camera. Some would argue she has every right. She was trapped underneath a milk crate while nursing her kittens and burned by 2 Baltimore City teens last January. The scar along her side seemingly the only remnant of such brutal abuse.
She basically plays, naps, eats, plays, naps, eats, and she does paper towel art.
So a healthy cat.
A healthy cat, yes.
Cindy Wright adopted Mittens and brought her home once she healed. Mittens' story was too powerful, her personality too resilient to ignore for this Barks volunteer. The very same reason why this animal literally became the poster cat in an effort to pass several animal anti-cruelty bills in Annapolis earlier this year.
I think her case really helped sway some of our state lawmakers to get going and pass the bills, and it became a record session for passage of anti-animal cruelty bills.
Which is why Mittens here will be crowned Cat of the Year by the American Society of the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. The change her story helped bring and the successful prosecution of one of the teens who was responsible for it is now an accomplishment of note.
She suffered a debilitating injury, but I think it shows some of the work of the commission.
Work that will also be honored by the ASPCA. Caroline Griffin is the chair of the mayor's Anti-Animal Abuse Commission. She will share the stage with Mittens later this month to get her own award for quitting her private law practice to lead the city's anti-animal abuse prosecution and education efforts. A comprehensive and unique commission.
Go, girl. Yeah. Now, we're moving down to Cat of the Year. This cat's so unique. The cat's name is Mittens, and owner is Cindy. Mittens was, it was tragic what happened to Mittens. Some young kids put Mittens under a milk crate while she was nursing her kittens and poured lighter fluid on her.
And set her on fire.
Yeah.
And she was burned over 70% of her body. And she went back to nurse her baby kittens.
That's unbelievable.
And she was saved by the Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter, Barks. They saved her life. And the Mayor's Anti-Animal Abuse Commission actually helped prosecute one of the kids.
I was going to ask.
Pleaded guilty to felony animal abuse.
What was wrong? I can't
Why would someone do that?
Those kids that do that sort of thing have hellish home lives. I'm not making an excuse for it, but you go back to a kid that's been raised.
But I'm astonished that she was able to still nurse her babies even after being burned. How long did it take her to get back on her feet?
Couple months of critical care, and this is 10 months later. She still has part of the wound.
Yeah. Well, we're happy she's okay.
She's a Barks baby.
Oh, it's good to see you, Cindy. Let's move down to Stevie. Hi, Stevie. How are you?
Last year, a cat nursing her kittens was trapped under a milk crate and burned, leaving her with a large scar across her side as a reminder. Thankfully, Mittens was able to recover, also with the help of the people at Barks, and she was adopted. Because of her powerful story, Mittens became a poster cat for several anti-animal cruelty bills in Annapolis. Eventually, one of the 2 Baltimore City teens accused in her attack was convicted. Mittens was also honored by the ASPCA. And who could forget Thor, a pit bull left for dead inside a city trash can over the